So this is my car camping box that fits pretty much all my gear that I take on pretty much all my trips. And it doesn't matter if I'm sleeping in the car or I need to walk maybe a couple hundred meters to a campsite. This is the box with the gear that I take with me most of the time. And at first it might seem ridiculous hauling this huge box with you around, but there's some pretty good advantages in doing so. First one being that I never forget anything anymore because everything I need is already packed in this box. And second, the prep time that I have to do for my trips is cut way down because again everything I have is already packed in this box, ready to be put in my van and off to adventure. So let me show you what's inside this camping box. So let's start with the sleep system. This is my sleeping bag. It's Snug the Harrier -6 Celsius sleeping bag, and I think this is one of the best budget sleeping bags. It costs somewhere around $100, and I have tested it in -10 degrees Celsius, and I was cozy warm in this. So another item I don't really go camping without is these Accordion Pads, which have more uses than it might seem at first glance. Not only it's a great place to sit while you're cooking a meal when you're resting in the middle of a hike, but also it increases the R value of your sleeping pad, meaning that if you put this below your sleeping pad, you will be sleeping much warmer than without this, and that's because of this reflective material it has right here. And I kid you not, if you lay it down like this and sit on it even in winter when it's snow on the ground or ice, you won't feel the cold coming from the ground. On top of that, it's really lightweight and cheap, so I'm not afraid to damage it because it's so cheap to replace. Okay, the next item from my sleep system is this generic sleeping pad, which is an inflatable sleeping pad I bought on Amazon for like $30. It's not meant for winter camping, but again, if we combine this sleeping pad with this one right here, it's actually pretty comfortable, even though this has no insulation whatsoever. One of the main reasons I go with these cheaper sleeping pads is because I have dogs, and oftentimes their nails will accidentally puncture this, and I wouldn't want that to happen to a more expensive sleeping pad. And I've gone through 3 or 4 of these already. So the next thing I like to bring on my camping trips, which is more of a glamping kind of thing, is this wool blanket. And wool blankets are really nice when you go camping because not only they are really warm and you can stuff them in your sleeping bag if you get cold, but also they don't catch fire that easily as these synthetic blankets. And it has probably happened to you when you are sitting with a blanket or a synthetic pair of trousers, amber lands on your leg and there's a hole. That won't happen with these blankets. This particular blanket is from Danish military, I think. It cost about 20 euros and it's really good value for the money. The next thing I like to bring in this box is the actual shelter that I will be staying in if I'm not staying in the car itself. And for that I like to use a good tarp. This is a 3x3 meter lightweight tarp that costs like $70 to $80. I can't remember precisely, but it was in that range somewhere. So I would usually make a shelter out of a tarp, and on top of that I have this cheap ground sheet that I like to put below me. Then there's my baggie of assorted ropes that usually has all the ropes needed to put up the tarp. Okay, so with the sleeping system and the shelter out of the way, let's move over to the tools I usually take on my trips. The first being this axe that my girlfriend got me for my birthday. It's this Fiskars Hickory Northern 10 axe, which holds its edge really well and is really sharp. I like it a lot, and it's one of the best birthday presents I have received so far. And by the way guys, if you're interested in any of this gear, I will leave links in the description down below. So this next one is probably one of my favorite tools. My dog is giving a pretty good description of the tool. I hope you like what she's saying. But anyways, is this Fiskars collapsible saw, which comes out like this. It costs like 30 euros and it's ridiculously sharp. It's so easy to cut things with this. And before I got this saw, I didn't take any saw with me on my trips. But now this has been a game changer. It's so easy to do camp chores with this. On top of that, when I'm bringing my backpack, it takes like no space in it. So next is my cooking gear, and I have this fake jet boil thingy I bought on Amazon for like $40 or something like that. And a huge canister to come with it, so I don't have to worry running out of gas. And I usually cook all my dishes in this little pot right here. It comes with a self-igniter just like a jet boil. I've been really liking this cooking system for van life particularly, but I want to get something smaller to put in my backpack when I'm doing these longer trips, because this is 1 liter and it's a bit too much for me. Next, of course, is a generic travel mug, nothing special here. I use these to drink coffee out of. Okay, so next is this water bottle that I actually use to heat up when I'm extremely cold, and I do that by boiling up water in my jet boil thingy and then pouring this boiling hot water in this bottle right here, and then I put it in my sleeping bag. And usually then I'm warm for like 5 to 6 hours, depending on how cold it is outside. It's been a real lifesaver on a couple of trips. And if you've been cold when camping, I do suggest you try this trick. Just make sure you screw the cap on your bottle real tight so you don't wake up in a wet sleeping bag. Next is some miscellaneous things like my headlamp. I never go camping without this one. This is a really bright pastel headlamp. I really like it because not only you can put standard batteries in this one, but you can also recharge this battery with USB. So that's real handy. It kind of gives you two options on how to power your headlamp. Another little nifty thing I take with me is this hand sanitizer to keep my hands clean. And sometimes when I'm putting like meat on a steak, my hands will get all dirty with these sauces from meats, and this takes care of that real nice. I have a little bag to carry things around. I usually carry firewood in this. Then I have a long leash because, as you've seen, I have dogs, and when they are in the mood to run away, I usually tie them up to a tree with this long leash. Okay, anyways, I think I went through everything. Anyways, that's all my gear I usually take on my trips. If it's neatly in this camping box, I'm curious to see what items you're taking that I might not be taking. Please leave your most valuable items that I might have not included in the comment section down below. Thank you so much for watching this video. See you in the next one. Bye.